Hello students, I hope you are doing great, and today we are going to look into the newspaper dated 4th September 2023. So my friends, I hope that your day was great and you have studied a pretty much decent way. Now at the end of the day we are going to see the Hindu newspaper analysis, which will give you the gist or actually the detailed explanation of things only according for your examination. See, there are several news like Aditya L1 or Ukraine Russia issue, and say for one nation one what we say election. See, these are in a news format and you need it for the exam. Okay, exam important content is needed. In this newspaper discussion or in this newspaper analysis, we are not going to delve into the unwanted stuff, but we will be discussing only the only the things which are relevant for your examination. So we are going to see the September 4th 2023's newspaper discussion, that is the Hindu newspaper analysis. So there are sports news, and then there is obituary, then there are awards and certain other important news which is very much relevant for bank, SSC and UPSC and other competitive examinations as well. So like your state examinations as well. These are news from relevant from any examination point of view where current affairs is a primary thing, and it is very important. So here we will be discussing a lot of important facts which will be helping you in your examination. So stay tuned, my friend. Let's see the first news, which is very much interesting and fascinating. First one is Aditya L1. Aditya L1, here is the news is very interesting. See, Aditya L1 is healthy in new orbit. Who says this? ISRO says this. ISRO, you know, ISRO is Indian Space Research Organization, which is a premium space research organization of India. Its headquarters is in Bangalore. Who is the head? It is Somnath. As Somnath is the head of ISRO. So Bangalore is the headquarter and Somnath is the head of the ISRO. Now let's look into the news. Aditya L1. You might be aware that Aditya L1 is actually a mission focused to study the sun. Okay, the sun. It is studying sun. You know, Aditya means sun. Okay, Aditya means sun. Aditya stands for sun in Hindi. Okay, Aditya is sun. Now here we will be studying about sun through this Aditya L1. Now why this is in news? It is simple. We will understand the context why it is in news, and then we will move on to the details, which are the most creamy part of your preparation, and you will be loving it. I will assure you that these facts are very, very, very interesting, and it is very tasty for your mind as well. Now first of all, if you see Aditya L1, why Aditya L1 was in news? Why it was in news? It is simple. It was in news that because it did its first maneuver. Okay, first maneuver. It will be doing 5 maneuvers to leave the Earth's orbit. See, these are the maneuvers which will be done. Now every maneuver will require a boost, and then it leaves the first orbit, then second orbit. It is done to reduce the fuel consumption, and it will then at last leave Earth's orbit and move into Lagrange point, that is L1. Okay, Lagrange point 1, where I will also explain this Lagrange point 1 in a while, so that it can be very clear and crisp for you to understand. So that is why this was in news. I hope that was clear. Now let's understand certain details about Aditya L1, which is relevant from your bank, SSC and UPSC and other state exams. So let's move on. Now Aditya L1 is the first space based Indian mission to study the sun. I hope that you already know that, because Aditya L1 is have been in news. I already have mentioned about it in previous videos as well, so you are 100% aware of this concept. Now you have to remember from exam point of view, it was launched in PSLV XL launch vehicle. PSLV XL launch vehicle, which is very much important. It might be asked in your examination, so don't forget on which on which launch vehicle it was launched. It was launched in PSLV. PSLV. What does PSLV means? Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. My friend, it is Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, and you have to remember that. Now next is spacecraft shall be placed in hello orbit around the Lagrange point what? L1. Lagrange point 1, that is L1. It is how much away from Earth? So okay, it is 1.5 million kilometers away from Earth. Okay, it is 1.5 million kilometers away from Earth, and you have to remember this is the fact which is the cream of your exam, and you have to understand it, grab it, taste it, and remember it. It is very important. Okay, now what is Lagrange point is another question. So these are Lagrange points, but if I show you this, you will not be able to understand, right? So let's discuss what is Lagrange point in a very simple way. I am not going to explain, read out this thing, but I will explain you in a very sensible way. See, this hole that you can see is the gravitation. Now Earth is smaller than Sun, and it has a gravitational sphere lesser than Sun. So Earth's gravitational hole is less, and the Sun's is more. Now there is always a point. See, there are two objects. Suppose these are two objects. Okay. Now the gravitational sphere of the larger object would be much bigger. However, the smaller gravitational sphere of smaller object like Earth is smaller, and therefore if a object is here, then Earth will pull it towards itself. On the contrary, if an object is in this area, then Sun will pull it towards itself because of the gravity. However, have you ever thought what will happen if an object is in this point, that is very much in between their gravitational sphere? Then what will happen is the object will stay there without any momentum. Okay, nothing will pull them here or there, and it can stay there. That is the very much the point about Lagrange point. That is, these Lagrange points are L3, L4, L1, L2, L5. There are 5 Lagrange points, and they all are neutral points. They are not influenced by Sun's gravity or Earth's gravity, because here both this Sun's gravity and Earth's gravity gets neutralized, and so they can stay in that space, or Lagrange point, without any pull from any of the larger objects. That is overall what Lagrange point is meant. Okay, that I hope that you understood the concept. It is very simple and very interesting. These are the 5 Lagrange points. Now if a question appears in your examination, Aditya L1, that is this one, Aditya L1 will be placed in which Lagrange point? It would be pretty simple, isn't it? It will be very clear that it is L1 means Lagrange point 1, clearly. So I am pretty sure that my students, you will be doing it correct. Now let's move on to the next. These are some of the important information regarding Sun. See, because we are going towards Sun, so we need to understand the various spheres of Sun and various terminologies associated with Sun. So we will start from the core. Okay, these are the basically layers of this side. We are discussing layers, and here there are other phenomena regarding Sun. First we will look into the layers. First layer is core. Core, you know, the hottest or the center portion of Sun, where the thermonuclear reaction is generated, or Sun generates its energy via thermonuclear reaction. Now thereafter it comes, the region comes is radioactive zone. Here the energy in the core diffuses slowly. Okay, the energy here diffuses slowly outwards through the plasma. Okay, plasma is a very important concept which is related to our Sun. Okay, now the energy is diffused through plasma in radioactive zone. Thereafter comes the another zone, that is convective zone. Here rapid heating of plasma creates currents. Okay, currents are created like ocean current. The currents are created which are heated and cooled gases. Okay, creates a current of heated and cooled gases. Okay, that is why this region, that is convection region, is known. If we have to define it, it is rapid heating of plasma creating a current of what? Heated and cooled gases. Now thereafter comes the next zone, that is corona. Corona is not our COVID-19, it is corona. Okay, corona is Sun's corona. Okay, here what is it happens is, if I will have to explain you, if you burn a candle, suppose if you burn a candle, okay, there would be a area where there would be nothing, like if a candle is burning here. Okay, sorry, I will draw it here. Okay, this is the candle burning, and then there this would be the light region where you light is visible. However, there would be an area where a light is not visible, but it is very hot. If you put the finger above this light, your finger will burn more than if you putting your finger here in the light itself. Okay, that is because the air is gasified and it is so extremely hot that it burns your finger. Now corona is similar to this, on moon. Sorry, no, not on moon, on sun. On sun, what happens is corona. It's the what is the sun's outermost atmosphere, which extends millions of kilometers into outer space. Here, the temperature is extreme, very very much extreme. The temperature is harsher or hotter than the what we say convective zone, and it is very much impossible for any object made on Earth as of now to penetrate this zone, because it will be melting down. That's much temperature is there. Now then comes the coronal mass ejection. Now here what happens, the temperature rises and there is a massive ejection of what, billions of tons of plasma will be ejected at a great speed. Okay, and it accompanies a magnetic field from sun's corona. Okay, sun's corona, a magnetic field is also ejected from this region. Then comes the solar wind. Occasionally solar wind is blown off. Now what impact does solar wind has on Earth? The Earth is like this. If a solar wind blows from sun, see, this is sun, this is Earth, a solar wind is blowing from sun, what will happen is Earth has this magnetic field, right? This magnetic field is there. When solar wind blows, this magnetic field all pushes to this region. Like it happens to be like this. More of the magnetic field is accumulated. See, it is simple that if you are holding a plastic bag in air, if there is a plastic bag in air and the wind is blowing, what happens? The plastic bag will move this side. Similarly, all the magnetic field will move this side, which is called a geotail. Previously, we also had a geotail mission. Okay, geotail mission. It was decommissioned. It completed 30 years span, and now it is not in active stage. It was a combined effort by USA and Japan. Okay, Japan's JICA was also involved. Okay, Japan and USA's mission, that is called the geotailed. Okay. It was for the study of this solar wind effect on this what we say magnetic field. See, when solar wind blows, it interrupts the telecommunication of on the Earth. So it was very much necessary to study geostorm. Not geostorm, solar winds, and by that tail was also relevant. Now we will understand certain important terminologies associated with sunspot. You must be knowing sunspot. It is like a pimple on the face of sun. Okay, broken pimple, you can say. Darker and cooler areas. See, if suppose there is a normal amount of sunspots on sun, and if that sunspot increases, if this sunspot increases, it comes everywhere, then it would mean that the temperature of the sun will be reducing, which would impact the climate on Earth. That means a probable ice age may also come. I am speaking of extreme case, and in a very extreme case, Earth will die. Okay, if there is too much of darker and cooler areas on photosphere of the sun, that means the Earth will not get the required temperature. Required temperature is essential for the survival of life on Earth, but if it is not provided, then the life on Earth will die. Okay, so it is very much important that the sunspots should be in a limited way. Okay, these are the spots which are darker and cooler spots on photosphere, which is concentration of magnetic field. So that is what some spots mean. Then comes the prominence. It's a large structure, often many thousands of kilometers in extent. Okay, these are the prominences. It is basically emitted from this corona and this upper layer, that is convection zone and all. So it is a larger structure. Okay, then granulation. It's a small and short-lived what we say this kind of area, that is grain features that covers the sun, caused by thermal currents rising up from below. Okay, thermal currents rise from below, and due to which small granular structure. Granular means small grain-like structures are raised. Basically, it is what we see from Earth. Okay. Now, chromosphere is another layer, the layer above photosphere, where the density of plasma drops dramatically. Means a larger drop in plasma's density is seen at chromosphere. Then comes the photosphere. Photosphere is the visible surface of sun. The visible surface that we see basically is photosphere. We means not through our naked eyes, but basically through the telescopes and other study instruments. Okay. Then there comes a transition zone, that is region, that is thin irregular layer that separates the relative cool chromosphere from much hotter corona. Then comes the flare. This is sun flare. It is a sun flare. sudden release of energy in the form of radiation. The sudden, there is like a burst of energy that comes out, radiation. Okay, that is what we call as solar flare. Okay, solar flare, solar wind, you might have heard in news as well. And then corona is also important because we are Aditya L1 is associated with studying corona as well. Okay, now this is what we already saw. This is the structure where see, core is the place where nuclear fusion is occurring. If you are in examination, you are asked what kind of what we say nuclear reaction is happening on sun. It is nuclear fusion. Okay, that is important. Here nuclear fusion is happening, and the second zone comes radiative zone, where energy transfers by radiation. We have already seen that. Then comes the convection zone, where the energy transferred by convection, that is pushing the energy from below. Then comes the photosphere, where the deepest part of the sun, which we can directly observe, it is visible to us. Then chromosphere, normally invisible, and it can be only seen during total eclipse. Okay, total eclipse, we can see it. Then corona, the luminous envelope of very high temperature plasma that surrounds the sun. Now let's study about Aditya L1. It is a launch, it was launched on what? Our launch vehicle, that is PSLV. Okay, XL. Now then the orbit would be L1, that is Lagrange first point on sun earth system. Now primary payload on Aditya L is visible emission line coronagraph. Okay, coronagraph, VELC. You have to understand this abbreviation, you have to study the full form as well. Now other payloads, that is 7 payloads are there, and you have to what we say, you have to mug it up, because my friend, it will be asked in the examination, so you have to mug it up. Now first is a solar ultraviolet imaging telescope, that is SUIT. Okay, you have to remember the Aditya is wearing a suit. The suit's full form is Solar Ultraviolet Imaging Telescope. Okay, suit is worn by Aditya L. Now solar low energy X-ray spectrometer, it is Solaxis. Okay, Solaxis. Okay, now what we can say, you have to remember Solaxis obviously. Okay. Then high energy L1 orbiting X-ray spectrometer, you can remember it as Helios, but however it is HEL1OS. Okay, HEL1OS, however you can also remember it as Helios if you want. However, it is high energy L1 orbiting X-ray spectrometer. Then Aditya solar wind particle experiment, that is SPECS. Okay, SPECS, it is also important to understand. Then comes plasma analyzer package for Aditya, that is PAPA. Okay, plasma analyzer package for Aditya, it is PAPA. Okay, you have to remember that. So we know suit is there. What is PAPA is there. Okay, PAPA is there. Then what becomes Solex. Okay, Solex, Rolex. You might be remembering the watch Rolex. You can remember Solex as well. Okay, then is Helios. You can remember it as Helios, but it is HEL1OS. Okay, then aspects, you can say aspirant. Through that you can remember aspects. Aspirant is also sent there, so aspects can be remembered. And then okay, yeah, that's all. And then here it is VELC. So now let's move to the next, that is significance of VELC. That is VELC is a solar chronograph capable of simultaneously imaging spectroscopy and spectropolarimeter. We need not to understand the what we say, the depth of this concept. Just we have to understand what VLC is, and it is a image. It can image the solar corona down to 1.05 times the solar radius. Okay, that is very much in depth. Okay. Now, purpose of studying sun: to gain deeper understanding of sun's radiation, heat, flow of particles, and magnetic field. It provides clue about the high temperature of solar corona, understanding space weather dynamics, and of early warnings of solar events like solar wind, and solar flare. That is wrong. Solar flare. So that is what we that major events that impact Earth. Okay. Now Lagrange point, I have already told you what it is, and the significance is also been told. So I won't be discussing it much in depth. Okay. Now next, let's move on to the next slide. That is other solar missions by different countries. See, since India has launched solar mission, so it becomes very much relevant that we also understand which are the other countries that have already launched these important things. Okay. Now United States has launched it, obviously. Then United States, if they have launched, what is the name? It is very relevant. Parker Solar Probe. That is, it was launched in August 2018. It touched the sun's upper atmosphere, sampled particles and magnetic field in December 2021. Then comes the Solar Orbiter, February 2020, explores the sun's changing space environment. Now next is Japan. Japan is also not behind, my friend. It is ahead in these technologies. First, Hinotori Astro A 1981. It went back in 1981. It went there to study there. Studied solar flares using hard X-rays. Then Yoko Solar A 1991. Studied solar activity. Then Hinode Solar B 2006. Studied the sun's impact on Earth. Those are the important missions by Japan. Then Europe, which says that is studied space environment above and below the sun's pole. Then Proba 2. It was recently in news as well. Proba 2 was sent in 2001, the part of solar exploratory missions. Then upcoming is Proba 3. That's why it was in news. Okay, Proba 3 will be sent in 2024 and Smile will be sent in 2025. It will be sent by European Space Agency. Okay, European Space Agency will send this. Then comes the China. You know, China is not behind in such technology or such races. It is also trying to, what we say, arm the space. Okay, arm space, that is their concept. Now they want to demarcate the regions in space also. They might do that, and then if they are arming, then we will be facing what we say, space war, like maybe Star Wars. Have you watched the Star Wars movie? If you have watched, you might be aware of the Star Wars concept. Okay, so I am not delving into what sci-fi area, so we will be looking only on the facts here. China has also been has launched it, Advanced Space Based Solar Observatory, ASOS, October 2000, launched to observe the sun. Okay, now next is right to information, my friend. It is very much important for you as a citizen and an aspirant. See, suppose if you I will give you an overview of this. Okay, if you are a citizen of India, okay, you are a concerned citizen of India, and suppose you have some doubts regarding certain schemes, and you want to know how much money have been spent in the scheme. The government has allotted, suppose, 5,000 crores for the scheme, and you want to know that how much did the department actually spend this money, how much money was spent by the department. Then of course you can file an RTI request, and it will be costing you some 10 rupees. This is the rupee symbol, and this is 10 rupee. Okay, not 108, 10 rupee. You have to pay a 10 rupee via DD or check, or through there is a stamp from court. You can pay through this. Okay, 10 rupee is required to file the RTI, and then the concerned departments, concerned authority are very much obliged to give you the detail. However, the problem here is there are lots and lots of pending RTIs with the department, with various departments, and that pending is an issue. That getting pending is very much an issue, because there is a time period through which you should be given the details. That is 30 days. 30 days was the time period within which you are supposed to be given the concerned information which you have asked for. Okay, and there are other loopholes also. We will discuss later someday, but today we will understand some basic nitty-gritties of this Right to Information Act, which is relevant from your examination point. And my friend, if you study this, you will score some good marks there. So first of all, we need to know when was it launched. RTI Act came into effect in 2005. Now the question may arise, RTI Act came into effect. Was there any other similar act before that? Then my friend, yes, there was a similar act, that is Freedom of Information Act 2002. Okay, this was the act which was replaced by RTI Act, because see, there were some loopholes in this, and the then government, that is the Congress government, felt that in 2005 felt that this information is not very much meeting the needs of the citizens, so they changed the act. Okay, that is the important thing. Now, Right to Information is an act of Parliament of India which sets out the principle and techniques in regards to citizens' right to information. Now, it is an initiative undertaken by, it is very important, which department, which ministry, very much important, my friend. It is under the Ministry Department of Personnel and Training. See, this ministry is directly under the control of Prime Minister. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in charge of this ministry and department. Okay, Ministry of Personnel and Public Grievances, Pensions, and Minister of State for Ministry of Personal and Public Grievance and Pension is Jitendra Singh. Okay, Dr. Jitendra Singh. Okay, you have to know that fact as well. So now next is the basic object of Act is to empower citizens, promote transparency, accountability in the working of government, containing corruption and making our democracy work for the people in real sense. See, if you are able to ask questions and get answers to that, the people will, government officials will be what? Accountable, and they will fear of doing corruption. See, they have to provide you details, and if they are not maintaining the details in a proper time frame, then they will be in trouble, my friend. If you get the RTI and you know that they are doing something bad, you can file a case against them and they will be answerable to the government and the court as well. So okay, they actually indeed they are answerable to you. So that's why the RTI was brought. And now RTI, some provision, that is any citizen of India may request its information from a public authority, a body of government or instrumentality of what do we say, state, which is required to reply expeditiously or within 30 days. They are required to give you immediate reply or within 30 days. A 30 days framework is given in cases where they need to dig for the certain information. Otherwise, they must be providing it expeditiously, that is as soon as possible. Now, in case matters involving petitioner's life and liberty, suppose if there is a issue or a reason to believe that it will threaten the petitioner's life and liberty if the information is not provided immediately, then the period limit is 48 hours. So that is also a provision available there. So that is what we have to understand. Now see, in the news there are certain things that is we have to understand. See, the original act provides for that allows certain information to be kept secret. Okay, the act, RTI Act, provides certain details, that is if you file RTI on certain issues like ROS activity or defense activity, you will not be provided any detail, because there is a two condition, that is national security and sovereignty reasons were provided, which is what we say exemptions. Okay, they are exemptions and their disclosure is optional. Okay, and unless there is a overriding public interest in doing so. So if there is a says for public interest is there, and that is why the RTI is relevant, then they might have to disclose this details according to the RTI Act. But the Digital Personal Data Protection Act of 2023, it amended this provision and it provided for total prohibition. That means if something you are seeking information regarding national security or sovereignty, related to sovereignty, then it is completely prohibited to provide you the information. So there is a apprehension that if such things are done, then social auditing, okay, social auditing on ration and all that will be pushed out on the grounds of similar thing like this one. Okay, there is a sovereignty issue or there is a national security issue, so we cannot provide you information. That might be the what we say the government's argument, and then you can't do anything, because according to the Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023, you cannot be given information, may what may come. Okay, may you are very much in danger or whatever it is completely prohibited. So that is one thing. Now next thing is a concern. What concern? The Right to Information Amendment Act 2019 gave the Union government unilateral power to decide how long information commissioner who hears appeal against the unsatisfactory or absent RTI responses can serve and what their salaries are. Now see, if you are not satisfied with an RTI, you will be filing a complaint against the reply you got, and there is a information commissioner. Now the amendment in 2019 provided that the government can decide how long the information commissioner can serve. That is, there is no fixed tenure and the salary is also not fixed. So what is the problem here is, if the government wants to pressurize the commissioner, they can clearly do that, because there is no fixed tenure, it is at the whims of the government, and again their salary will be decided by the government. So that is an argument against the amendment. Okay, those are the some concerns, which is not very much important. You have to know that RTI was established or came into effect from October 2005. That is very much important. And then comes the another thing, that is what is the debate around one nation one election. Now my friend, it is very much interesting topic, one nation one election. Now since next year, that is 2024, there are a lot of elections going on, that is general election, assembly election and all that, that is next year the tenure of the present government, that is BJP NDA government, that is headed by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, will be, the tenure will be over and the new election will be conducted. So again the debate one nation one election has risen. Now the question is, what is one election one nation? Actually one election one nation one election is see, all the elections, that is central election and plus general election, that is and legislative assembly elections, okay, parliament elections and assembly elections should be conducted simultaneously, means together. So there are arguments that if that is happening, means suppose one is the date on which parliament election is going to happen, that is our MPs will be elected, and on the same day what we say, state election should be also done, that is MLAs should be also be elected on the same day. That is the case. Now the benefits quoted here are that the security, the measures which are adopted to secure a parliament booth, election booth and all, will be means the cost will be less, because only the security personnel should need to be deployed only once, okay. So the cost will be reduced. Further, what happens is that the employees, government officials deployed for this to make a smooth transition of this election will also be reduced. The cost will be reduced. Again, the people need not to rush for multiple times for multiple elections, because elections right now you see that every year there are some or the other state you will seeing some elections. So that is what the problem is here is. So they see that one nation one election is a solution to this. Now we wonder that have ever India seen such condition, that is one nation one election. See, after independence, the 1951 to 1951 1952 first elections were conducted, right? So the first election was conducted as one nation one election, that is Lok Sabha election and assembly elections were all conducted at the same time, because see, that was the first election and everything in every state elections were on the same time, and parliament election were also at the same time. However, this continued till 67, okay, 1967. In the 1967 Kerala what we say assembly was dissolved. Now why it was dissolved? Because the center used the president's rule also, so they broke the first election, or you can say the then government, that is Kerala government, was dismissed due to the under the article 356, okay, that is failure of constitutional machinery, means president rule was implemented there. So that was the first state where re-elections were to be conducted. Now since during that time the 5-year tenure of other states were not completed, okay, not completed, and also the central 5-year term was also not completed. So since that was the issue, so only election was held in Kerala, and in 1960s many other what we say state were also facing this dissolution on president's rule conditions, like many states, okay. Now currently assembly polls of the states like Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha are held with Lok Sabha elections. Other than that, all the states have different timing, like say for Rajasthan or Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, all the states have different timing of elections. Now the government, or the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government, wants it to be unified and made a single thing. However, there is a study report in August 2018 by a Law Commission of India chaired by Justice B.S. Chauhan. It saw all the details about the possibility of one nation one election, and said that there is the constitution provides for like Representation of People's Act 1951 and rules of procedure of Lok Sabha and state assembly would require appropriate amendments to conduct simultaneous polls. That is this acts need to be amended if what we say we have to conduct simultaneous polls, and also recommended that the rectification of at least 50% of the state is also necessary. See, certain constitutional amendments, since if we have to do it, we need to dissolve certain states. For example, if 2024 we have to conduct an election, and some state has already elected their government in 2022, that 5-year tenure was not finished. So what happens is this government has to be dissolved in 2024, so that simultaneous election may be conducted. Their tenure will be 2 years only, which will be very much wrong, because constitution provides for 5 years tenure, and if they are dissolved before that, that will be a violation of constitution. If that has to be changed, that means they have to amend the provisions of the constitution, which will be requiring rectification from 50% of the states. So there are certain issues associated with it, and also certain benefits to it. So I already discussed the benefits, so we will be moving forward towards the next one. So let's see. Assam government forms a panel to draft anti-polygamy law. What is polygamy? The polygamy is an important question. A man marrying multiple women and having multiple wives is called polygamy. Okay, polygamy is that is a issue in Assam. The government feels that is an issue in Assam. So the Assam government headed by whom? Himanta Biswa Sharma. Here you can see Himanta Biswa Sharma. Okay, he is the head of the government, that is Chief Minister of Assam. He has formed a panel to draft anti-polygamy laws to stop polygamy in the state. Okay, now see, in Muslim law there is a provision to marry Muslim spelling is wrong, right? Muslim law. In their law, there is a provision to marry more than one woman. But generally that is not practiced in normal areas. But however, I think that maybe Assam government might feel that there is too much prevalence of such things, so they actually want to stop such a practice in there to make it illegal. So they are moving forward with this. Now we have to understand who are the members of this committee. The members here is Advocate General is first AG. It is Devajit Saikia. Okay, Saikia is first member. Then Legal Remembrance Kuntal Sharma Pathak. Okay, it went on Sharma. One second. Sharma Pathak. Okay, now that is the second one. Then the Director General of Police, that is Gyanendra Pratap Singh. Okay, Pratap Singh is the another member. So these are the members of this committee. So you might have to understand this and study this. Okay, now that is the thing about the article. Now next is Center's Diksha e-education platform to offer AI help. Now AI help. See, Diksha platform provides for digital knowledge or digital PDFs and all that content required by the school students. Okay. However, they are upgrading it since AI is in trend. So they also thought that we will use AI. Now AI means artificial intelligence. They will be including artificial intelligence in Diksha portal, wherein they will provide learning solutions to the student. Now learning solutions would be tailor made. That is, it will be provided according to the needs of a specific students itself. So that would be very much interesting to see how it goes. Okay, since AI is in a very much beginning stage, we have to see how it turns out, but we should be optimistic about this. Now regarding this news, certain information needs to be understood by us for the examination. Now first of all, National E-Governance Division NEGD of Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology in India is planning to integrate PAL, that is Personal Adaptive Learning. You have to study these abbreviations. Okay, this abbreviation. Now Ministry of Electronics and Information is headed by Ashwini Vaishnav. Okay, Vaishnav. Okay, you have to study that. Okay, he is also in charge of Ministry of Railway. Okay, so that is it. And then personalized adaptive learning will be integrated with which portal? That is platform, that is Diksha. Diksha stands for Digital Infrastructure for Knowledge Sharing. Now in examination you might be asked, recently Diksha was in news and it will be integrated with PAL. PAL means Personalized Adaptive Learning. In this Diksha, what does S stands for? Then your answer should be sharing, knowledge sharing. Okay, so SHA means sharing here. Okay, so that is what you have to remember from examination point of view. Abbreviation will be asked in that sense. Okay, then PAL is a software. Now what is PAL? That would be the next question we have in our mind, right? Now PAL is a software based approach that aims to provide each student with an individualized learning experience based on their unique needs and abilities. Okay, certain students can do rote learning. However, certain students only remember things by understanding the concept. Okay, understanding the concept in depth. For such students, they need a tailor-made solution to understand the topic. So that is how this PAL will work. PAL means your friend kind of guy who will explain things to you. Okay, you have to remember that in that sense. Okay, now the background, if you have to speak about it, Diksha was launched by whom? Education Ministry. Ministry of Education is under whom? It is Dharmendra Pradhan. Okay, Dharmendra Pradhan. Okay, you have to remember that. Dharmendra Pradhan is the minister in charge of Ministry of Education. Okay. Now, it has some assistive technologies like for learners with visual or hearing challenges. It primarily serves as static content repository, means PDF, or if there is information, it will read out loud for people with visual or visual issue, and then who have hearing challenges. It will highlight things and all that things will be provided there, but nothing related to problem solving or that such things will be provided under this initiative. So now PAL will be integrated, which will be AI based thing that will help it. Okay, now let's see some details about Diksha, which may appear in your examination. It stands for Digital Infrastructure for Knowledge Sharing, and it is a national platform for school education. It was initiative led by NCRT, that is National Council for Educational Research and Training, under Ministry of Education, which is under Dharmendra Pradhan. Okay, Dharmendra Pradhan is the in charge of Ministry of Education, Government of India. Now launched in 2017 by Honorable Vice President, that is Venkaiah Naidu. Venkaiah Naidu was the Vice President back then, so he had launched this initiative. Okay, so that is what we have to remember. Now Diksha has been widely adopted across all states, union territories, central autonomous bodies, and also CBSE. Okay, then comes the news regarding Russia's attack on Ukraine. See, there was a talk going on about to happen regarding grain deals with between Russia and whom Turkey. Okay, Russia and Turkey's grain deal was about to happen. However, in the meanwhile, attack was launched by Russia on Ukrainian port near Danube River. Okay, this region. Okay, now you can see this is Russia, this is Ukraine region. Then here is the problem, that is Danube region, where Russia launched an attack, and now the things have also again escalated, since Romania has pointed out issue, because Romania is actually a member of NATO member. Okay, Romania is a NATO member, and since NATO's motto is attack on one country, it amounts to attack on all the countries. So since they have actually not directly attacked Romania, however Romania has condemned the attack since it was closer to them. Okay, their boundary. Now that is one concern, and if you have to speak about NATO is a organization where 31 members are there. Okay, 31 members are there, and recent addition is Finland was recently added to the fold of NATO, and that is why it became 31 members. Okay, you have to remember that concept. It is very important. Now let's move ahead. Match referee Srinath set to officiate 250th ODI. It is very important because he is the fourth person to be a match referee in 250 ODIs. Okay, so it is very important. His full name is Javagal Srinath, and he had played for India for a long time and was one of the outstanding bowlers of India. He was a bowler. Okay, now that's much what we have to understand. He will be be match referee for 250th match men's ODI, and it will be in Asia Cup match between India and Nepal. Okay, so you have to remember this. Others who had achieved this feat is Ranjan Mudgal, Chris Board, and Jeff Crow. Okay, Jeff Crow, and he is going to do it on Monday. Okay, now next is former international umpire Paolo reporter passes away. Okay, he was a international umpire, he's a cricket umpire. That's what you have to remember. He was officiated, or he did the umpiring in 14 tests and 22 ODIs, including 1992 World Cup in Australia and New Zealand, in a career lasting 20 years. Okay, now that's it about him. You have to understand that Pailu reporter, he is a former international umpire of cricket. Okay, next is Zimbabwe's cricket legend Heath Streak passes away. Heath Streak passed away recently. He's a Zimbabwe player. You have to understand that as well. Okay, that is very much important. Okay, it's a obituary basic. Now next, India beats Pakistan in hockey 5S Asia Cup final. Okay, now in this actually have given them a qualification, or they are qualified now for men's hockey 5S World Cup, which will be conducted in Oman 2024. Okay, this victory against Pakistan. Okay, now in Asia Cup, whom did India defeated? A question might be asked in your examination, then your answer is Pakistan. Hockey 5S. Okay, hockey 5S Asia Cup finals. You have to remember that. They have defeated them, Pakistan 2-0 in shootout in the final. Okay, that is how you have to understand that news. Okay, now next is our favorite Max Verstappen. he secured perfect 10. Perfect 10 means he won for 10 matches consecutively. Okay, 10th win in a row by leading Red Blue team mate and what we say, Italian Grand Prix. Okay, he took the Italian Grand Prix home. So that is his victory, and he is an outstanding player in this field. Okay, so you have to remember that. Okay, now next is some of the important, what we say, appointments. Okay, first women CEO and chairperson of Railway Board. We already actually decided, not decided, we discussed this. Jaya Verma Sinha, she replaced actually Anil Kumar Lohati. Okay, sorry, Lahoti. Jaya Verma Sinha replaced Anil Kumar Lahoti. She became the first women CEO and chairperson of Railway Board. Okay, I already told that in the history of 118 years of Railway Board, she is the first woman to become the CEO and chairperson of Railway Board. That is very much important. So it might be asked in your exam. So first woman to head the Indian mission in Pakistan is Geetika Srivastava. Geetika Srivastava. She will be replacing M. Suresh Kumar. Okay. The first woman field director of Kaziranga National Park is Dr. Sonali Ghosh. She will be replacing Jitendra Sharma. Next is a new country chair of Shell India, Mansi Madan Tripathi. She will be replacing Nitin Prasad. Now the chairman and of Smart E-Mobility is Manoj Kohli, and CEO of Vicom 18 for digital business is Kiran Mani, and the part-time chairperson of UIDAI is Neelkant Mishra. Then chairman of National Green Tribunal NGT, a CJ of is Chief Justice of Calcutta, that is H.C. Prakash Srivastava, replacing Shiv Kumar Singh. The chairperson of Indian Oil Corporation Limited is Shrikant Madhav Vaidya. It's reappointed. Now additional Director General of India Coast Guard is S. Parmesh. Okay. Now let's see, next is recent committees in news. Okay, recent committees in news are government set up a high power committee to review DRDO. Okay, and it is chaired by Professor K. Vijay Raghavan. Next is government forms a new panel. Hope you know that DRDO is a Defense Research Development Organization. Okay, the full form of DRDO is Defense Research Development Organization. So you have to remember that as well. Government forms, next one is government forms a new panel to review all official data, chaired by Pranab Sen. Okay, Pranab Sen will be chairing it. Next is chairman of the Research Advisory Committee of ICAR is B. Neeraj Prabhakar. Next is government sets to set up panel recommend reforms in arbitration law. It is headed by T.K. Vishwanathan, former law secretary. Now, Center constitutes Peace Committee in Manipur, chaired by Governor of Manipur. Okay, those are the information. Next is recent awards. Okay, first is the Insurer Innovation Award 2023 goes to Bajaj Allianz Life Insurance. Next is best performance in CASA at ICC Emerging Asia Banking Conclave 2022 goes to J&K Bank, that is Jammu and Kashmir Bank. Then Lokmanya Tilak Award 2023 goes to Narendra Modi. Then Miss Universe Netherlands Award goes to Ricky Cole, the first transgender woman. Okay, next is a Philip Chatrier Award by International Tennis Federation goes to Justin Henin. He's a Belgian tennis player. Okay, now let's see some of the important 69th National Filmfare Awards 2023. We actually already discussed this, but I am discussing it again so that you get a revision of it. Okay, because see, facts are something very much difficult to remember, so when we see it again and again, it automatically gets internalized. So that is the point of providing you this information again. The best feature film is Rocketry. The best popular film is RRR. Then the Nargis Datta Award goes to The Kashmir Files. Best Hindi film is Sardar Udham Singh. Now best film on social issue is Anunda, that is Resonance. Now best film on environment is Avasahaya Yugam. Okay, the best director is Nikhil Mahajan, Godavari. Best actor is Allu Arjun for Pushpa. Best actress is Alia Bhatt for Gangubai Kataiwadi and Kirti Sanan for Mimi. And then best child actress is Bhavin Ravdi, that is Cello Show. Okay, that are the most important things in news today. So hope you were able to understand some interesting facts in today's current affairs. So I believe that the Hindu analysis we did today was helpful to you, and always be positive about it, because I will tell you that some of the questions might appear in your examination, because these facts regarding Aditya L1 and all are very much relevant for your upcoming examinations, and also Chandrayaan 3. We will be taking this topic again and again, so that such concepts will be internalized. I will be providing details, facts and other things to you, and we will be bringing more and more content into this initiative, so that you will be able to get an holistic approach, and newspaper reading would be very much interesting and like a very much internalized way of learning. Okay, so hereafter you will not feel that newspaper discussion is any more difficult or boring. So I will try to make it as interesting as possible. So we will meet you in the next video. Until then, take care and bye bye.